So, what is going on, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Legacy United Voyager class animated universe Optimus Prime, which I could have swore I already reviewed, but I don't think I did. If I did, well, there's a reason, which we'll get to, but this is animated Optimus, and honestly, I like this thing a lot. He's actually really good, in my opinion. There's a lot about this thing to love. He is a genuine update of the animated Optimus Prime design. He's a bit more blocky than the old animated one, but I'm fine with that kind of being a stylization, because you can't get much better than those old animated toys. They were dead on. They're honestly spot on, and this thing is quite close, if I'm being honest. There's not really a lot missing. As soon as I look at this guy, I can tell it's animated Optimus and nobody else. It's pretty easy. As far as it goes, main colors-wise, red, blue, some black, some gray, a little bit of yellow in there. Looks pretty good. One complaint off rip, though. No paint on the legs at all. Like, it's just all blue and silvery plastic. Arms are not that, however, where they're sculpted in red and painted blue and with, well, some other colors on the sides. Very good. Head sculpt looks very good. Still has a bit of a chin. Not as much as the actual one, though. A bit more square than it would be in the past. And on the back, very clean. Look at that backpack. Impeccable backpack. Comes with one accessory, that being his axe, which looks like this, and it can be held in this form or this form, which is able to be extended to be wielded as a two-handed weapon, which is pretty neat, I will not lie to you. It's a little wonky to get him to hold it two-handed, though. Just a little bit. Sometimes you kind of have to pop the wrist a little bit. Not really a good way to do it, if I'm being honest with you. But you can get it kind of looking right. There you go. But his arm is open. Ta-da. And I mean, that's nice. The axe looks great. It looks identical to how it should look. Every bit of the detailing on it is ideal. It can even support a blast effect coming out of the back. Like a little flame, which I'm pretty sure he did have. So, that is pretty neat. I mean, everything about the robot mode of this Optimus is just absolute perfection, in my opinion. There's not a lot wrong with it. No kibble anywhere. Biggest complaint is the paint on the legs not being there at all. That's it. Other than that, golden. His articulation's also quite good. He has a hinge joint and a ball joint in the head, so he has all the range there, forward and back, outward. A butterfly would have been nice. Double elbows due to transformation. The swivel. Ball-jointed wrist, though it technically only functions as a swivel. Waist rotation. Forward, back, outward. Swivel knee joint, which goes well beyond 90. A kind of tilt at the ankle that goes forward and back, along with an inward. So, even his articulation's above average. This thing's really, really solid. How can we make it better, though? Is there a way? Maybe. The box is too big. This is DNA Designs dk54 Animated OP Upgrade Kits. Not kits. And, well, to get that in here, you get an absolute unit for this Optimus Prime that's already 5 out of 5 worthy. And let's upgrade it, because why not? My first ever third-party purchase. I'm not joking. I seen the Prime vs. Prime review of the thing, and I was like, that looks really cool. I kind of want that, because this figure to me is a really good figure. But I was like, how do I make it stand out more? Because I really like it, but to me, it's one of those figures I just put on the shelf and forget about. Even though it's an amazingly good figure. This is a whole thing. So in this set, you get feet, you get hands, giant gun akin to Cybertron Optimus, the Magnus Hammer, the wing pack, which is accurate to an animated episode, so that's cool. You do have all that. Hit the camera, and you get 2 of his actual animated guns. If I'm not mistaken, these are technically just the animated cannons that he would have anyway. And on top of that, you also get some mask assembly parts. You get this thing, which no clue, and face mask. Because that was one of the biggest gripes of this figure, was the fact that it has an unmasked head sculpt. Not anymore. Not anymore. You can indeed put this little mask on here. It does look a little clunky, and it is a little strange to get on at times. I will not lie to you. So basically what you're trying to do with the mask is put it around these little circular bits there. Closer to the cheeks, not the ones up by the ears. And to get it on there, it's just kind of weird. You kind of got to go on an angle. But once you do get it on there, it is on there quite nicely. And there you go. You have animated Optimus with that look going. Look at that look. Look at it. It's perfection. He now has mouth plate. That's picked out in a very nice silver. But you know what? Let's just kind of get this going, because we got to show the upgrade kit on him, right? So how do you get him ready? Well, other than throwing that mouth plate on there, which we just showed, flip in his hands. That's it. That's all you got to do to get him ready. And flip down this back panel. That's all. That is your entire transformation prep. And what you're going to do first is either grab your gauntlets or your feet. You're going to grab the feet at this point, so we can gauge how tall he gets. So they have a peg on the bottom, peg hole on the bottom of the feet, as you can see. And you basically just take those, put them in there, and then they clamp on. So they do peg on, but mine are a little tight. So I like to just kind of sit them on the peg, opposed to fully peg them in. And then I just use the top section there to clip it on at the knee very nicely. Ta-da! Next thing is your hands. They just slide on the arms using that peg hole that's a little bit invisible. It's right there. You see it. There's a peg on the inside of these, which do that. And give him that look. The next thing is his backpack, which is also perfectly tailored, having these pegs and some slots available. And that just goes on perfectly well and good up there. And you get that. I think his feet are a little uneven in there. It's kind of causing an issue. But as far as it goes, I mean, that's the base version of it. Obviously, we have some other parts, though, that's just kind of lying around, such as the cannons here, which plug into the shoulders up here on the backpack and not the actual figure. And they are fully articulate by pegging them in there. They can rotate and look up and down and all that good stuff. The giant white cannon for storage, that just pegs into the back like so. And then for his new visor assembly, just put that up there. Again, this is probably one of the stranger parts of the whole thing. I know there's another version. I think it depends where you get it from. I don't know if it's Big Bad Toy Store or Show Z Store. You get a white and orange one, opposed to this blue one. And then we have the hammer, which, how does he hold the hammer? Well, hands open. The hands open, and you can take it and give him the hammer like that. And ta-da! There's your complete upgrade kit. There's other formations you can do with it. These little, like, pylon things here, they come off, the little thrusters. And you can put them on the shoulders for spikes or whatever. Do that. He can still, of course, wield his axe, which I forgot to mention on mine did break at one point, and I just glued it back together. Really strange. But basically, similar thing. Just slides into the hand. And you end up with this dual axe hammer thing. Yikes, what a intriguing bot. Again, cannons, they flip down. They're holdable, as we seen earlier. They're very much holdable, even with these giant Hulk hands. The other accessory that this comes with, though, is that giant white bit that I put on the back, which is kind of weird. So it's basically just a reference to Cybertron Optimus Prime's cannon, in my opinion. Just based off of the shaping of that barrel. That one cannon on the Cybertron Optimus. It can be wielded underhand, but it is 10 times easier if you wield it from above. And that's just a fact. You just do that. Ta-da. And that is the upgrade kit's robot mode. Yes, 10 minutes in, and it was mostly that. Now, the one thing I will say about the upgrade kit is obviously it's not as high of quality. Like, it's not a bad plastic quality, but it's not good either. I feel like I can break a lot of it by just, like, pressing on it a little too hard. The wings and the visor. The visor is really flimsy. Like, this thing bends way too easily, and it's like I could break it right now if I wanted to. The intrusive thoughts almost won a couple times on that one. Also, I forgot to mention this, the hammer, you can split it to have a little hammer as well, instead of the big hammer. But the big hammer's cooler, in my opinion, so, yeah. And you can hold it with 2 hands. So I'm sure you'll see that in pictures. Maybe. But that is it for this form. He doesn't lose articulation. He only gains a little bit by the opening hands. So let's just get into the transformation of this figure. And so to transform Optimus here, first thing you're going to do, fold away the hands. We've already got that step done just because of the upgrade kit. But we showed it when we were doing that, so it is there. Pretty easy, simple step. The next thing we're going to do is take the arms, and we are going to fold them up. Like so, and they peg together using this tab in this slot. Right there. It will tab, like so. You can then take the back section and chest piece, unpeg these silver sections here, and once that's done, you unlock the whole torso. It explodes. And the one thing I will give this figure right out of the gate for this is exactly how the Deluxe transforms. Like, exactly how the animated Deluxe class figure for Optimus transforms. Exact same step. The arms fold up, the chest piece folds down, does that whole thing. The next thing here is to line the arms up with the front of the truck mode, which is easier said than done, and this is probably one of the worst steps of the whole transformation, because it will line up correctly, but it won't actually be lined up correctly. So this is the correct version of the cab. But as soon as you come into this and try to get this pegged in right, it can cause some problems. It can make this unpeg. It's really weird. It didn't do it that time on camera, but it was doing it the whole time I was messing with it earlier. So that's a little strange. Either way, take the legs, split them open, flip the feet over. You're then going to take the legs, and they do have the little slide slot, so you just kind of slide them together. And then once that's done, straighten everything out, peg the legs together like that. And ta-da, here is the cab for the alt form, which looks pretty good, honestly. Looks really great. And the axe, that just kind of pegs onto the feet. Not joking, that's what you can do with it. One thing that obviously, though, feet, and there's a giant gap back there. The wheels aren't painted, and it's just kind of weird. There's a lot of paint going on up the front, though, with the silver and black stripe, which I do like. Also forgot to mention that this light bar section, severed piece, which actually hides some holes on there. There's actually 3 ports on the back of the figure, so that's pretty neat. And also the wheels all have a port in them, which is also really neat. And that's basically the alt form without the upgrade kit. But of course, the upgrade kit does something to the alt form too, because why wouldn't it? Now it's time to bring the upgrade kit in and turn this into the alt form trailer. So the first thing we're going to do is actually come to the hammer and split the top open. Once the top has been split open like so, you can actually just take the visor section here, and that just goes in like so into the hammer, along with the mouth plate. Real basic, real easy stuff. Pegs together, nice and easy. You can then remove the long section of the handle and then port it into one of these other 2 ports on the bottom. The third port will then be used for the white cannon section here, or the ladder, as it is the truck ladder. Very cool. Once that's been done, we're going to actually come to the feet here. We're going to fold up the toe. You do have to bend that, as it will lock it in place. So you do have to actually open the foot up and then flip the toe in. Otherwise, it won't work. Once that's been done, take these sections here, and they kind of slide together, and then you have to slide it up a little bit, and that locks them. So they kind of have to slide down a little bit, which is interesting. For the wing pack, fold these little thrusters to the side like so. You're then going to take the hammer section here, and there's these kind of square tabs there, I guess? Peg tabs, whatever. They don't really peg into anything. It's more of like a area to note of where you got to line everything up. And then once you try to fold this in here, this is where it gets a little spooky in my opinion, because these do not like to close in over each other at all. It's a little bit looser now, but it's not fun still. And it's just kind of there. The next thing is the arms, or the gauntlet sections here, which also peg in. There's some tabs. They're like little tabs shooting inside. There's slots on the side of the forearms. And you're going to kind of have to bend it open a little bit again. Which again, flexing of plastic, not fun stuff again, but you kind of have to do it to get the gauntlets in there. Either that or you got to put them in first. It's one or the other. Putting them in first is probably the better option, if you want my opinion on it, but that's not how I've been doing it, so that's why it's a little wonky. And then you get this here. You can take the cannons, the handles, fold away on the bottom, like so. And once they fold away, you do that. Also fold down the handle for the big cannon. And for these, it's oddly specific. There's this large tab and then this small tab. Large slot, a small tab at the back. There's also then 2 slots there and then 2 tabs in the middle. And then you're just going to slot those together like so. Make sure everything's all well and good. Make sure it's all there. And now you have a perfectly good trailer mode, which just pegs on to the feet back here. And they just go on quite simply, actually. Very nice and easy. Not like hard to put on. Very easy stuff. And there we have Optimus Prime's trailer. And yeah, I kind of like it with the trailer a lot more. It also has a bit of heft to it. It does, however, eradicate the axe storage, which basically then means it gets put there. I'm actually forgetting a step, which I always forget about. These little blue panels here fold down, revealing some detail. Look at that. Ta-da. It looks really good in this form. It makes it actually look complete, because he's supposed to be like a fire truck. I just dropped it, of course, because I'm stupid. But it's kind of awesome to just have him done in like a larger fire truck form. This is like a leader class heft type thing, heft of a figure. It's certainly something, and I mean, a lot of this is quite nice, if I'm being honest. It doesn't affect it. It still rolls very well. The whole trailer combination is actually really easy once you do it the first time. You're basically, okay, yep, that's where that goes, that's where that goes. It's all really logical. You got the boosters out the back, and these little tiny ones here, too, if you want. It's really nice. And again, the axe can just store in that little peg there, if you wish. Just like that. And, I mean, yeah, I mean, it looks good in this form, and it looks great overall. So let's just kind of get to my final thoughts on this figure and the upgrade kit. So for the figure himself, the Optimus himself, out of the box, generic Optimus, no upgrade kit. I think this thing's genuinely a 5 out of 5. I was like, oh, but the feet in the truck mode, it doesn't bother me that much. There's way worse, in my opinion. Way worse things that Optimus has done with his feet in alt mode. Pause. But still, it's just one of them things that's like Optimus having the feet hanging out the back at this point. Is it that wrong? It happens so often at this point that I don't even care anymore. That's how bad it is. Is it just that bad? Like, I just don't care when the truck mode has the feet hanging off the back. I am numb to it at this point. Every Optimus for years had that problem. And suddenly it was a problem with this figure of all of the Optimus. It was a problem with this one. And I think this one is such a good adaptation. Possibly the best Legacy Evolution adaptation of a figure that there was from one of those other universes. 5 out of 5. Upgrade kit. Now, the upgrade kit, the main issue with it is actually its price point. Nothing else about this kit is bad. I'm not going to lie to you. The kit itself is really good. It makes me enjoy this figure a lot more than I already did. And like I said, it's a great figure, but it's one of those ones that it's like, I look at it, I know it's a great figure, but it's just on my shelf. I like having it on my shelf, but like, I don't know what else to really do with it. It's there, it's cool, but the upgrade kit makes me like it. But again, the problem with this upgrade kit is the price point. The price point is double the price of the figure. I wish I was joking. Now, because I'm brain-rotted at this point to spending a large amount of money on action figures from Figuarts, because Figuarts are bad too, this is about the price of a Figuart for the most part. Like, not the generic ones, like the basic ones you can find at Walmart. It's like the other ones, a little bit more of the expensive price point. It's around there for price, so it's a bit expensive. It's a bit expensive, and like I said, the only thing people are going to do is buy this if you're like a crazy collector or you actually cared enough about it. Me personally, I love Super Mode Optimus Primes so goddamn much. I love them a lot. It's like my favorite genre of Optimus Prime. And this like hit the sweet spot of being Super Mode Optimus. And it's already a figure that I liked. So it just kind of hit as one of them stupid little, like, you know what, let's do it purchases. I didn't buy anything else that week. I was like, you know what, screw it. Let's do it. And I did it. And I don't regret it still fully. Like I said, it gives me a lot more reason to like it. But the fact of the matter is, this kit is awesome. It is awesome. And they made another one for the, I don't know if it's upcoming or is already out, Motor Master repaint of this guy. They did it. They made another one. It's black and purple. It's very large. And again, it's a great little set to have if you are into it. It's not something I'd say you need, though. Again, if you're a collector, this is yours, honestly. You wouldn't go wrong with it, especially if you're a massive animated fan. I don't see a reason not to if you have the money to do it, or you're just like, you know, you're just buying the animated figures. It's a great time. It makes this figure seem a whole lot better. And this guy's one of those shelf-warmy guys, so he's usually on sale on, like, Amazon and stuff like that. He's not really that hard to get. We're just going to leave the faceplate off. I almost just lost it. That would have been tragic. But as far as it goes, yeah, very good figure. 5 out of 5 on both things, kind of. I'll give it a 4.5 on the upgrade kit, just because of the price point. That's it. And that's all I have to say about this figure. This has been a review of Legacy United Animated Optimus Prime. This has been Delete signing out.